What's up, guys? It's Zaya from CarNewba Detailing. I'm hoping you guys are all having a wonderful day, just like always. Now, in today's video, we'll be going over that Mustang GT I talked about in my previous video for the Scuderia Cars and Coffee event that was held last Saturday. Great event, big showing, some amazing cars there. I had a great time, and congratulations to our $500 detailing raffle winner. We'll be taking care of his vehicle pretty soon as well. But back to the Mustang. As you can see, it is in pretty bad shape right now. On a scale from 1 to 10, I give this vehicle like a 2 or a 3. A lot of contamination, everything from embedded contaminants to iron contaminants, and brake dust and traffic film. A lot of marring and a lot of scratches, from light swirl marks to heavy, deep grooves in the clear coat. Now, this vehicle was not taken care of very well. A lot of automatic car washes when it was washed, and besides that, no proper protection. As you can see, there's absolutely no water sheeting or water beading effect on the surface of this paint. It is just that bad. Some areas even pooled water, especially horizontal surfaces such as the hood, and you'll be able to see that in just 1 second. As you can see, the water just pools onto the surface, leaving more contamination and water spots behind. Some areas were even so bad that they looked like they were a matte finish when obviously they're supposed to be gloss clear coated. Now, after the full wash process, I used a traffic film remover, and then I moved on to the claying process. Now, I understood that this vehicle was so bad in contamination that I would probably have to spend at least about 2 hours claying this vehicle and probably use 1 to 2 clay bars to complete it. So I decided to use a clay pad rather than a clay bar to speed up the process. I'm just using the simple Harbor Freight dual action polisher at around 2,000 to 2,500 RPM. Because remember, you are using it on a wet surface. You don't want water and soap slinging everywhere. But as a reminder, you're probably going to get a little bit wet throughout this process. Now, the clay pad is a great tool to cover large surface areas and remove contamination pretty fast. But you do have to remember, you have to be careful. You don't want to put too much pressure or keep it at too high of an RPM, because you do risk scratching and marring the surface even more, which isn't really a massive deal. But because you are going to do some paint correction afterwards, or at least hopefully, but you want to minimize that to the best of your ability. After claying the vehicle, I go ahead and dry it off and get it ready for the iron decon. I'm just using McKee's 37 iron remover. Comes in a gallon size. It's about 80 bucks or so. Smells horrible, probably one of the worst smelling products I've ever used in my whole entire life, but that goes with a lot of iron removers, because they are using the same chemical compound. So you just have to keep that in mind, all right? After I spray down the wheels, I go ahead and move on to the paint. Please make sure you're doing this in a very shaded area, hopefully a lot of clouds or maybe in the garage. You do not want this stuff to dry on the surface of the paint, but you do need it to sit there and settle and remove that iron contamination and brake dust contamination from the vehicle, which usually takes about 5 to 10 minutes. That's what I leave it on the surface, about 5 to 10 minutes, and then you can see the results right there on the wheels. Go ahead and rinse off the product after that time frame, and also rinse the product off of the paint. Obviously, it's a black car, so it's a little more difficult to see, but you will see the residue from the iron contaminants on the pavement after I rinse it off for you guys, okay? Now, American cars, especially Camaros, Mustangs, things like that, you do see a lot of iron contamination because they're usually transported via train or semi-truck on highways, and they are most of the times not covered or really protected in any way during that time frame. So you do see a lot of iron contaminants and brake dust and things like that on the surface, and as you can see, all of it's on the pavement running down away from the vehicle right now. After the iron decon stage, I go ahead and dry off the vehicle once more, but this time as an IPA Wipedown, all right? I just use straight 70% alcohol on the surface. I know some people tell me and tell other people that IPA Wipedowns don't work. We've been using it for years as detailers, and the same people that are telling you that it does not work on the surface are the same people trying to provide you a different product to buy to replace an IPA Wipedown, all right? Now, This part of the video, I'm just showing you me utilizing the Torx 22D polisher. This is my second job utilizing the tool. I'm using a Hex Logic heavy microfiber cutting pad as well from Chemical Guys and Detailing Garage, just testing out some of their products and tools just to get an idea of what they offer at the time. Now, during this part of the video, I'm going to do a brief overview / review of the product, so it's going to be a little bit more lengthy, but I really want to tell you guys what I think about the polisher thus far. Overall, guys, the polisher gets 2 thumbs up for me, and there are a few reasons why I like it so much. Again, one of the biggest reasons is the form, and it is pretty lightweight and thin. It is very easy to handle on the surface of the vehicle when you are polishing, and it doesn't strain your body as much as some other heavier polishers out there, especially for it being a 21mm throw polisher. There's a lot of benefits that come along with that. Another thing, it's very comfortable and very ergonomic. I've been using it about I put in maybe about 25 hours on the tool thus far, and remember, I've only had it for a couple of days now, and I've only used it on 3 jobs thus far. Alright, and overall the form factor and the ergonomics of the tool are very good. Something that I personally have to get used to is the button interface, because I do usually utilize dials and triggers such as on the Harbor Freight with the dial, and I have used Rupes in the past, which does come with a traditional trigger on the bottom. So the on and off buttons with the switch on top on the user interface of the Torx 22D is something that I'm going to have to get used to. Now, the Hex Logic pad that I was utilizing on the actual vehicle at the time was a very heavy cut pad. It is a good pad. It does cut very well. The only issue that I found with it, the fibers of the microfiber do dry out very quickly. I do find that I have to lubricate them very often, and I can't say the same with some other pads that I've used in the past, even some cheaper pads that I purchased online in the past. So that's something you have to keep in mind. Like I said, it does cut very well. One thing you just have to keep in mind is you have to continually lubricate the pad a little bit more frequently than I would like, or a little more frequently compared to its competitors in the market right now. Overall, after the first pass through of the heavy cut compound, I used Meguiar's 105 with that heavy cut pad from Hex Logic. It's a microfiber cutting pad, along with a 21mm throw Torx 22D polisher. A lot of the heavy marring and scratching was removed from the surface, alright? And that was just one pass through. And I was just kind of testing out what was going on. I did do a test panel prior. But again, each panel might be slightly different, especially horizontal surfaces compared to vertical surfaces. So you do want to examine every panel that you move on to. But overall, I did kind of get the groove of things, testing out each one of the panels and seeing what worked best. What I did was I did one pass through, about 4 to 5 section passes on each one of the panels, with the heavy cut 105 from Meguiar's and also the heavy cut microfiber pad from Hex Logic, and that removed pretty much most, if not all, of the heavy marring and scratching. It did leave a haze behind, but that is perfectly normal because you are going to go ahead and finish off the surface with a lighter cut polish such as Meguiar's 205 and a lighter cut pad as well, to remove the hazing from the surface and also bring the gloss and shine back that we all know and love. Alright guys, so here is the moment that we've all been waiting for. So I went ahead with a 2-step paint correction, IPA Wipedown, and then I went ahead and applied a McKee's 37 ceramic nano base coating on the surface of the vehicle. And let me tell you right now guys, this is a daily driver, and it was pretty bad when we started, but my clients and then all the spectators at the event were amazed by the before and afters, because I did leave part of the hood unfinished compared to the rest of the car. It was outstanding, the results that we were able to achieve. As you can see, the car is at the event looking crazy glossy, crazy shiny, really smooth, protected surface, 2 to 3 years worth of protection. So I was very happy with the results, and so were everyone else. If you guys really like this video, remember to leave a thumbs up and also remember to subscribe. I thank you guys for all your support, and I really hope you enjoyed the video. I put a lot of hard work in both of these vehicles, so I thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys all have a great day.